You want to know how to get good skin? Eat better. Huh? If you don't know me, you probably don't know me. My name is Tyra High, writer, speaker, actress, poet, storyteller, orator, data specialist. I got started here on this YouTube about 2 to 3 weeks ago. I made a video response to a current issue about people who were using DevaCurl products and they were experiencing hair damage and hair fall. But today we're talking about nutritional supplements, vitamins, minerals, hormones, anything that we go buy in a store, in a bottle, canister, or whatever the case may be to give us nutritional density and support our overall health. Now, this is in no way medical or professional advice. I'm not a nutritionist. Nor will I put on a lab coat or use a pH test that I bought from Amazon.com and tell you I'm not a nutritionist, but give you all the theatrics as if I'm a professional. I am not a professional nutritionist. I don't even do medical research. What I do is find out what's going to help my body, what's going to give me nutrient density, and what's going to help me move along in this life in a healthy way. So take my advice with a grain of salt. Look up things on your own. Look up on the National Institute of Health, nutritionaldata.org. Figure out what your body likes. This is what I've learned about my body. I want to talk about the basics of what nutritional supplements do and where they came from. Now, I'm not going to get into the history of why people started nutritional supplements, but it was really based on one person. It wasn't like it was a collective scientific community decision that people needed to take vitamins.
In all seriousness, the FDA does not check this. Companies don't need to prove the safety or effectiveness of the product that they're selling.
Especially when it comes to things like vitamin C, it's all built on hype. It's a recommendation. I take one of these. So this, I take a third of it. This, I take half of it. Why I invested in Country Life, and Garden of Life is another brand that I respect and value as a company I trust to put something in my body and have a positive effect, is because these brands do the R&D to figure out, will these actually be effective for our consumers? And that's what you want. You want effective nutritional supplementation. You don't just want to take a pill, and you don't just want to pee it all out. You want that stuff to actually get in your body. And the reason why this here says chelated, and that is pronounced chelated, it's because it's bound with other nutrients and ingredients. Nutritionists started to figure out that your body better recognizes complex foods. Your body is very intelligent. Your intelligence is in your stomach. And when you are introducing enzymes on fresh fruit or fresh vegetables, you're introducing something that has been out in the world that's already built up defense mechanisms and protection against pests, against environmental factors. So when you're eating kale or carrot or potato or tomato, you're eating something that has built in its DNA ways to protect itself from the sun, antioxidants, ways to protect itself from pests and environmental factors. It has certain chemicals in higher concentration and certain poisons in its leaves so that pests don't get it out. And when we consume that, that is how we get antioxidants. That's how we learn in our stomachs how to protect ourselves against environmental factors and pests and disease and viruses and bacteria. What we eat matters. You are what you eat. Believe it. If you eat a plant that's intelligent enough to know, hey, I need this chemical in me so that this pest doesn't eat me, and I need this protection on my leaves so that the sun doesn't burn me out, and I need these type of roots so that I can absorb water. If you are eating plant life that has that intelligence, that's what your body is learning when you feed it. What happens in your stomach is not that you consume those enzymes and they just magically appear. What happens is that your body starts to say, oh, we want to adapt to that. And the reason why you want a nutritionally complex supplement, something that's chelated, is because your body, your stomach mostly, is intelligent as fuck. This is not where most of your intelligence lies. Your stomach is the most intelligent part on your body. You've seen prebiotics and probiotics. Prebiotics and probiotics are to introduce new bacteria and new information. I'm going to use that word information regularly into your gut microbiome so that your body can break down food and better receive nutrients. So your body can recognize, hey, this is a nutrient that I need. You want to know how those prebiotics and probiotics became necessary to supplement? We've been dumbed down in our stomachs specifically. We eat very simple food. We've heard of complex and simple carbohydrates. Simple carbohydrates, They have no nutritional density. And the things that they're made of have even been broken down to a base level where when we consume them, our body doesn't have to do any work to digest these foods. And so what's happening is when you're consuming very simple foods and you're dumbing down your digestive system is saying,
whoa, okay, well, we have all this sugar, but where's the vitamin D? Where's the calcium? Where's the selenium? Where's the zinc? Where's the chromium? Where's the, I don't know if that's in our bodies. Where's the manganese, magnesium, potassium?
When your body recognizes that what you're eating is not supplying you with all the nutrients that you need, it's saying, wait, I'm starving. So guess what it starts to do? It starts to retain all of that sugar, and it's like, okay, well, we ain't getting enough food and all we getting is this sugar, so we're gonna keep all of this. We're gonna store this as fat in your body. You're nutritionally deficient when all you consume is heavy, simple carbohydrates that turn into sugar in your body, but your body is also saying, I likely won't be getting any of that soon, so let me preserve my energy by not creating a diverse microbiome and more bacteria that can read other food. And then let's add meat in there. Again, I'm not gonna demonize meat, but think about what meat is. Meat is an animal that's already consumed something else and broken it down. So when you consume animal meat, animal fat, most of us are eating the fattiest part of an animal. We're not eating livers and gizzards and kidneys. We do not eat organ food. Organ food would actually be healthier for us because that's where energy is stored in most animals. We don't even store our energy in fat. Our energy is going to our heart, our lungs, our kidneys, our spleens, all of those other parts. We're eating the fattiest parts of the animals. And you add that agricultural and meat industries actually breed animals to be fatter. You're eating something that's already processed in nutrition. So you're getting basically a fast track nutritional supplement when you eat an animal. So what you end up having is a stomach and a body that is really dumbed down. You want to make sure you're eating fresh foods, not just because it's giving you nutrients, but it's also giving you hydration because it reads the water in that food as well. Guess what? When you don't have enough hydration or water in your blood, did you know that can send your blood pressure up? Because guess what happens? When your blood does not have enough water, it does not have enough flow. And likely you're getting a little bit of fat in there and other triglycerides. So it doesn't have enough flow. So your body is intelligent enough to start to sequester off things that don't really have high priority. So guess what happens when you're not getting enough hydration? So your blood says to your heart, like, wait a minute.
I'm a little slow right now.
I need you to work harder to pump me to every organ that really needs it. I really need you to work harder to pump to the lungs because the lungs need it the most. And I really need you to pump it to the kidney. And I really need you to pump it to the liver. This is why alcohol and that dehydration and consumption of high sugars and the dehydration that leads to that really affects your heart rate and your blood pressure. It's a direct effect. When you're not hydrated and your blood doesn't have the right fluidity and viscosity, it will definitely make your heart work harder. So if your heart is working harder because you don't even have enough hydration, and add to that, if you're not eating nutrient complex foods that have other nutrients in it, if you're eating simple carbohydrates, you're definitely eating dry food that doesn't have water and it doesn't have nutrient density. So you're not getting all of that intelligent life into your blood to not only pump relaxed and well, but to also protect your muscles and protect your cells. You're not getting any of that stuff. Okay? If your blood is saying, I want to prioritize the heart, the lungs, and all of these vital organs. Guess what's the largest organ on your body that your blood protects? Your skin. That is the first thing to be affected when you are consuming nutrient deficient foods or you're not consuming anything at all. This is why my eczema flares up with certain foods, or definitely when I'm eating acidic foods or I have a poor diet. It is simply because my blood is nutrient deficient and it's prioritizing other things because I'm putting my body in an inflammatory stress mode. You see, I'm tying all of this shit together. When your body is in that inflammatory stress mode, because this is inflammation, what it's saying is that I got to prioritize these other organs. Definitely your eyes need blood more than your hands do. Definitely your heart and your lungs and your gut needs blood more than the rest. So that means I'm not getting good supply to my hands or my face. So that means acne is gonna come and eczema is gonna come because it doesn't have the blood it needs to regenerate my cells, and as well as it doesn't have the antioxidants to protect my cells. So definitely I'm gonna have skin problems if I'm not eating enough nutrient-dense food. I've said all of that to say we need nutritionally complex and dense foods. These are nutritionally dense. Sure, the ingredient list on this is very, very complex, but it is not the same complexity and in the same balance, nor is it designed the same way as a leaf of spinach, nor is it designed in the same way as a carrot or a beet or an orange or a parsnip or fennel or leek. It's not designed that way. The food we have that we should be eating is already intelligent as fuck. And what we need to do is consume that so we can mimic and learn from the food we eat and have better bodies. So if you're going to supplement, yes, there are definitely brands that prioritize mimicking the intelligent food that we eat and we find in the ground. There are definitely brands like Garden of Life and Country Life that also provide food powders that they make from dried food because they're like, wait a minute, food is actually the best thing for you, not just supplementing from things we make from a lab. So you want vitamin supplements, minerals, and hormones that are bound and designed and even lab formulated in a way that looks more like food to your body. This is why they tell you to take your vitamins with food so that your body better recognizes this intense amount, this very densely packed. You see the size of these pills? That's very densely packed nutrition. Your body wants it spaced out. This is why celery has a certain amount of elements and a certain amount of nutritional density and complexity because your body doesn't want it all at one time. Otherwise, one food like spinach would have everything in it. There's a reason why we need diversity in our diet. It's not just for a diverse gut microbiome. It's also because your body needs to scale. It does not need this flush or this very dense consumption of minerals and vitamins and hormones. We cannot rely on these. Sure, these can help. These can help you in a time of weakness. Definitely, I've been iron deficient in my life, especially when I stopped eating mass amounts of beef and pork and meat in general. But that was because I wasn't eating enough of the vegetables that had available non-heme iron. Eat your vegetables, kids. I'm not saying don't supplement. I'm not saying don't add a little bit on top. But make sure it's a little bit. Make sure you're not relying on vitamins and supplements and anything that comes compacted is definitely not going to carry you all of the way. You need the fiber that goes along with that because what the fiber does to your small and your large intestines is it helps pass along all the material you don't need. So don't buy a detox tea. Eat flaxseed. Eat something with tons of fiber. And if you can't handle all of the fiber of kale or beans right now, take it slow. Definitely learn the balance of what you need to cook with. Start off by increasing your food diversity, not just relying on these to carry you to longer, healthier hair. Eat your way. And once you eat your way to longer, healthier hair, you're gonna have brighter, clearer skin. You're gonna have softer skin. You're gonna have a better digestive system. And when I tell you your mood is gonna pick up, sis, your mood is going to be the life that springs everybody around you into a happier, healthier life. You're going to be so much happier when you treat your body like the intelligent life that it is. This has been my TED Talk. Thank you for coming. Just kidding. No, I'm not kidding. This is my TED Talk. Anyway, I am not a nutritionist. I have to say that several times. I'm just a person who started off with anxiety attacks and some depression years ago. I got up to 250 pounds back in 2012, and I said I was tired of that shit, as well as I had mental health issues, and I could no longer afford to catch the bus to go to the psychiatrist, so they would no longer give me any meds. So what did I have to do? I had to figure out a way, and I read studies, and I read all these anecdotal stories about people who had schizophrenia and bipolar disorder who went to live on some land, ate well and exercise, and miraculously improved to the point where they no longer needed meds, let alone meds for type 2 diabetes or high blood pressure or high cholesterol. So I believed in that, and it works for me. This lifestyle works for me. I love it. I've definitely had friends who've ridiculed me. When I go out to eat, I scrutinize the menu. Not only am I a plant-based person, I'm also lactose intolerant, and some things my body just doesn't like. Anyway, That's how I got into digging into nutrition, because I knew that my anxiety and my stress and my depression wasn't exclusively triggered by things happening in my life, simply because I have had stressors all of my life. There were only short periods when I was experiencing anxiety attacks or depression. So I knew it had to do something with my chemicals and how they were imbalanced or in balance in my body during certain periods of my life. That's why I started researching it. I knew it just wasn't in my head. It was also in my body. Your serotonin is made in your stomach. So if you are depressed or experiencing anything, look at what you eat first. This is Tyra. You are what you eat. Bye.